good reason for that. It is, of course, open for business, and we're going a little later at 4 because we've got a very special guest all the way from the States, the lovely Kim ONeil. Kim is quite an amazing character. If you don't know her, she is, she's a published author, she's an Amazon #1 bestseller. She runs her own podcast and show twice a week, which is quite amazing. So I'll be getting some tips with any luck as well. She is also, and what I really love, is she's also a transformational coach. Everyone that knows I'm slightly into my spiritual side. So can't wait to bring her on. As always, guys, this show is sponsored by Get Clients with Video TV channel, and they're running an offer. If you whip over to their website, they're running an offer where for £250 you can get a whole host of things repurposed. But the whole reason we're here is to interview amazing guests, and I'm delighted to say a lovely welcome to Kim ONeil. Kim, welcome. So can you tell us exactly how does a poet become a dental assistant, a crime analyst, and then media broadcaster and author?
Nick, you did your homework. Yeah, I'm going to say I have not talked much at all, if really ever, on my shows with my audience or clients about, I used to write poetry when I was a kid. So the fact that you learned that about me is really, I think, fun. So thank you. Yeah. So you know what? You keep following that passion, that energy, what feels good, what inspires you and moves you forward. And for me, that's been a lot of things over the years. And it's one of those things, when you're living your own journey, right, which is all of us, it doesn't seem like you're going from a poet to a dental assistant, to a crime analyst, to a podcaster. It doesn't seem like, all these different things. It feels like, oh, okay, life's taking me through this. And then I went through all this muck. And what was that? And oh, now I see some light at the end of the tunnel. And ooh, this thing sounds fun. Now I'm going to start to move in that direction. And then, oh, okay, now I think I'm okay. Am I doing good enough? Right? It's this whole evolution of going from point A to point B. And it's really good to take a moment to pause and reflect and enjoy where we are during the process as well.
I can imagine. I mean, I guess it would have been the same when you were at school. You didn't go to your careers people and say, I want to have a successful podcast. Just didn't happen.
No, it didn't. Podcasts didn't exist when I was in high school. So that right there is new. But you know what? I will say that I have always, it's funny, just recently I was looking back and I have always found a thread of, I liked to host that one event that we did a gong show in high school. And I was like, I want to host the gong show. So I hosted the gong show. And there was something else. There was a modeling coach back when I was around 12 years old, who she said, Kim, I'm going to do this video series and I'd love for you to host it. And so I was like, okay. And I just remembered that the other day. So it's interesting how I never saw myself doing, being a podcast host or a live show host. And yet there has been this thread of hosting different events or shows.
Yeah. So you got that grounding, even though you didn't, without realizing it.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant. So how did you? I've got to admit, one thing I do want to ask you. I want you to tell everybody your poem because it made me giggle.
Well, so my poem, I don't remember all of it, but I remembered a small portion of it as Nick was talking about. What do you do when you've accomplished all your goals at the end of your life? And it just triggered this memory of this poem that I wrote. That was something like, what do you do when you're 92 and there's nothing left to do? So I'll have to dig that poem up. I think it was also about making sure that you do those things and you don't wait until you're 92. It was kind of along those lines as well. So
exactly. As I said to you, I'd just be very happy to get to 92. I'll be celebrating like a madman because it gets ever closer. So you started out as a dental assistant and then a crime analyst. Is that like a crime scene analyst or just a crime?
That's a great question, and one a lot of people have. It's not a crime scene investigator or analyst. Yeah, it's not so CSI. It's the person that's in the office doing all the research and the tech behind the scenes. So some people call it like a detective. I wasn't a detective, but it's kind of like another form of detective, I think, because you're putting all the puzzle pieces together as much as you can anyway through technology and reading the crime reports and having conversations with people and trying to also be both proactive, but also help solve crimes as well. So working with the officers and the detectives, and it's very, dense. I mean, to me, it's like you could never research enough. There's like always so much more and more further you could dig into trying to put pieces of something together. Because our lives don't just have like we're born and then we die. But so much of our life is one thing leads to the next and the next and the next. And then we're all connected too. So it's there was a lot.
Yeah, so you're joining up the dots, doing the hard work and not all the glamorous side. I tell you what, I have noticed you've got some seriously, you've got a lot of friends, Kim, for sure. You got the lovely Cara who's watching. Got the lovely Mary Turnbull as well. Got Helen Wilson. Hello, everybody. It's always nice to get that little interaction. And guys, look, if you've got a question for Kim, it can be about anything. It doesn't have to be about crime analysis. Please do drop them in the comments, and actually, tell us where you're watching from, and there'll be a special prize if anyone is watching from Connecticut.
Okay, so. So the Connecticut reference, that's like this dream state of mine that I've never been to in the US, and I have to go there one of these days for sure. I will.
That's nothing. I've got to look it up. I have no idea where Connecticut is. It would be, I don't know, it'd be like sticking a drawing pin in the state somewhere. That's for sure. Anyway, I will find out, and I'll send you if I ever go, I'll send you a postcard.
It's okay, good.
So you did the crime scene analysis, and then so then I think did you then start to look at the more mindful set, the LOA, and
so that's a great question. So did I just immediately go from being a crime analyst to being a law of attraction coach? Yes and no. So it wasn't such a linear thing. It wasn't like, okay, next I'm going to move to being a crime analyst. And then while I was doing that, okay, now I want to do law of attraction coaching and confidence coaching and all that. On the outside, it appears that way, but I was already into personal development and already on the coaching path when I transitioned into my crime analyst position. And so for many, many years, I have had this, desire to work with people one-on-one and in groups, supporting people, helping them, reconnect to who they are, feel better, heal, all of those things. So I've always been on that path in some form. And, like with anything, as you're moving in one direction, you have other things that are going on and other jobs that take form and are the solid piece of how you grow your life from. And so that's what it was for me. That was dental assisting for a good chunk of time. And then there was being a crime analyst for a while there, while I was figuring out what does it look like for me to be able to work with people one-on-one and help them. And so that was this journey that just continued to evolve over time. And it started with helping people prepare for job interviews. And that was before I became a crime analyst. I was already doing that work. And then I decided, I really want to have as much education and credibility to what I do under my belt. And so while I was working as a crime analyst, I was also getting my coaching certifications and, growing my knowledge. And as I was growing as a coach, I was also, you're doing a lot of your own work as you're going through that whole process of figuring out what it means to be a coach for the individual. Because I think it's a little different for everybody. And yet, anytime you're choosing to be on a personal growth path and helping others, it's always going to require you to do your own work. So the things were happening simultaneously and just, continue to evolve over time. So it started with interview coaching, went to law of attraction coaching, then became more of just a personal confidence in life and work coaching, and added some metaphysical elements like Reiki and meditation and all of that kind of stuff as I went on, and then the podcast. So yeah, just continue to unfold.
Yeah, so it's a total evolution. I'd make a note of that. Yeah, so you're a Reiki master as well. So how did you get into the law of attraction side specifically? Because I get the coaching, but was it like a self-development that you wanted for yourself first, and then?
That is a great question, Nick. So yes, here's what was so interesting is I was already in the middle of a coach certification program that was going to lead to ICF certification, and I was happy with it. I liked it. I was like, yay, I found my course. I'm good. And in the process, I was on someone's email list and receiving their emails. And this person had, a law of attraction coaching program. And she put out some emails. Hey, the next few emails are going to be about, my coaching program. And I'm going to be talking to you about it. And so just a heads up, those are what the emails are going to be like. Still online?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that was just a random 3, 2, 1.
Ta-da! Okay. So,
you carry on talking. I'll have a quick look.
So for anybody who doesn't know what just happened, we just saw a 3, 2, 1 on our end. But yeah, I mean, basically it was completely unexpected, unplanned. And I was in the middle of working full time, doing my coaching certification. And I decided I'll check out these law of attraction videos about this coaching program. I have zero intentions of doing another program, but I'm very interested in the law of attraction. And by video number 5, I was like sucked in. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm considering doing another program. Even if it's just for me, I have to do this. And so that's what happened. And I just so happened I had the money to be able to even sign up for the program. And to me, this was the beginning of me learning on a deeper level, how to really be listening and hearing my intuition, and also have a deeper understanding of knowing when an energy is drawing me in, and that this is something that is meant to be on my path. So I wasn't planning on it. And yet I am so grateful because it became such a critical piece to how I'm able to serve my clients. But then of course, now how I also live my life and how I think. It became a whole new language of how I think about everything now.
Yeah. And so that video series, so was this, I mean, a lot of people I talk to when they talk about The Secret, talk about law of attraction, they talk about The Secret, and then they talk about Jerry Esther Hicks and people like that. And from my experience was purely from The Science of Getting Rich, which I believe was what The Secret was based on. I was chatting to a chap that was with Rhonda Byrne at the time she was learning it as well. So
okay.
So I'm limited, but as he said to me, he said, actually, that's quite a good idea, Nick, because, if you just study the one bit and really learn the one bit, as opposed to jumping over to lots of different pieces and really master it, then you'd be on the right track. So was law of attraction, was that in your consciousness because of The Secret, or was that pre-Secret? It's quite old now.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes. So I believe The Secret came out in 2006, and I became aware of it around 2008. And then I did the Law of Attraction coaching program around 2014. So yes, I'd already been a big fan of the Law of Attraction and The Secret for many years. And it was time for me to go deeper with it. And it's so interesting too, because when I've told people, I'm a certified Law of Attraction coach, I've had people say, what do you mean? Like you need, you don't need certification in that. Like, what do you mean? You spent a whole year on that? Like they don't understand. They think it's this one little thing that it's like, there's so many layers to it. You can go so deep with it to really understand and be able to effectively apply it to your life. And I think it's something that it's like a continuous process. It's one thing to understand it up here. It's another thing to really understand how to be applying it. And it's something I'm continually working on for myself with. So it's a very rich subject, and one I think benefits everyone to be aware of. Yeah.
Oh, totally. I think it's incredible. It's that transformational mind. And so how does actually I've got a question, because Cara, I'm going to ask Cara's question. Where has it gone? because actually this was on my list of questions I was going to ask you anyway. But Cara, well done. You've psyched me. I wonder what Kim's aspirations are for the future, as she's done so much. Yeah, I'm sure there's so much more for you. So that was I was going to say, yeah. How do you see the future? We're going to come on to what you're doing with the podcast and the broadcast. But yeah.
Thank you for that question, Kara. I really appreciate that, and for Nick for highlighting it. So I have many. One of them that has been a dream and a vision of mine for the last few years is hosting an international show. And when I get really excited about that and I start to build out that vision, I start to have visions of it being an adventure type show. So not, something that would go beyond, me being in my home and in my studio space, and take me outdoors, outside, and connecting with people one-on-one, but also getting to really lean into life. And really help people, expand and lean into their own lives as well. And so, at times I still kind of play with, what else does this look like? And I always see this kind of like this mountain, and then there's water, and I'm on a boat, and I'm hosting a show. So I know it sounds very unconventional, and it's like so super exciting to me. And there, I'm seeing evidence and pieces of that falling into place for me. And I'm really excited. I really love hosting and connecting with people. So that's one of my visions for the future, but, definitely just more and more connecting with people. And I also see having a support community, creating a support community for others. And so, could be an extension of the show, or maybe it's something else that somehow evolves, but really having a space where people celebrate each other, support one another. They know that it's a safe space to share what's going on with them and to connect with others. And I just want to help, just people heal and move forward and evolve and feel safe in that process. So those are some of the visions I have.
Yeah, I know. And and people might look, some people might look and go, oh, that's a very noble vision. But actually, there's nothing nicer than being able to help people. That's, it's the old adage, isn't it? Is, as a kid, I never got it. It's better to give than receive. And I said, really? I really like the receiving bit. As you get a bit older,
you know what? I think they're both awesome. And I think for a lot of people, they have the giving part down, and the receiving part can be a huge challenge for some people. So I just say, identify where you are. Are you a really good giver? Then make sure you're placing time on receiving. And if you're a really good receiver, then okay, it's good to, just be mindful of, okay, then where can you give? Because that's where we get to have more of that flow. And if we're not, then we have less flow. So it's they go hand in hand.
It's that yin and yang, isn't it? It's those two mutually beneficial things. I love Lynn.
I just saw that.
Your visions apparently is how many people you can get to sing on your show. How many? Do you have a target number?
That's a great question. No, I don't. It's I'm currently, for the second half of 2020, I'm doing a second shorter show I'm calling Rise and Shine, Creating 2020 Vision. And it's more informal and more playful than my regular show, Every Day's a New Day. And one of the things I like to ask my guests at the end of it is, will you make up a song with the word vision in it and sing it for us? And it's just, it's not about being a pro singer or anything like that. It's about having fun and just, playing with that energy and yeah.
Because you were a singer, were you not, as well? Back in your
You're so good, Nick. So yes, so yeah, I did grow up singing and did a lot of show choir and musicals and things like that. And so yeah, so I like to sing, and for a time was in a band as well. And I enjoy singing. Yeah, I guess that's part of it too. And here's the thing, something most people don't know. I'm constantly making up songs, just around my home, even when no one, just to myself.
Yeah.
And so.
Oh, nice. Actually, it's something we haven't touched on. I do want to touch on it as well as about your family. What's family life for you like?
Family life for me, well, so right now I'm actually living with one of my parents, and it's really good because we're able to support each other during this time.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that I never would have expected, and yet I think is such a beautiful blessing of how this evolved for us. So family life is actually good and getting better, and yeah, I'm grateful.
Right. I think things happen for reasons, don't they? That's we find ourselves in. Someone used to say to me, "You are always in the right place at the right time."
That's exactly it. Yes.
So that's brilliant. Come on, we got to talk about. I got the Cara. Yeah, that's the only face I've got. So.
Was Nick wanting to sing? Should I ask Nick to sing?
No, seriously. In our manifesting group, I had to sing. We sung "Happy Birthday" to someone this morning. Oh no, that was if that was ever a lesson not to sing, that was a lesson well learned. And of course, you have your online family, as Cara saying as well. So more onto the shows. So you went through your coaching. It's I love broadcasting. I was telling you, I only started doing these live shows at the beginning of the lockdown. You have got a good couple of years on me. So how did you actually? What was the idea for the shows to begin with? How did you bring people on, and where do you see them going? Because they are brilliant. They're fantastic.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Nick. And congratulations to you for yours. I mean, that's awesome how you've started yours and it's continuing to grow and grow. I love it. Yeah. I would say for me, that was another thing. We've already kind of said this is I, didn't see it coming. And yet when the opportunity came to start my own show, which was actually back in 2015, I knew immediately, oh, wow, okay, I wasn't planning on this and I'm supposed to do this. It just felt right. I knew I was supposed to do it. So it's evolved many, many times since then. But ultimately, the vision or the goal, the intention behind it was always, okay, this is an opportunity to support more people, connect with more people, hopefully uplift, inspire people in whatever way I could. And so there's been a whole journey of learning, what does that look like for me? And as confident and sure as I felt about it when I started it, this whole new level of anxiety and fear also showed up. So it's been this whole journey of me also learning to go, what the heck is this? And, how can I work through this? Because I don't choose to feel this. And so what's the lesson here? What am I learning as I continue to build this and grow this? So, so it's been multifaceted. And right now it's the Every Day's a New Day show, inspiring conversations about moving forward and choosing to be more of you. And we talk about, the journey from there to here, what they've learned. And we're taking the conversations deeper these days. So I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, lovely. And can I ask, so did it, because obviously live streaming is, people are happily live streaming back in 2015, 2016, but did you start as a podcast and then begin to live stream after?
So I actually started as an internet radio host. Oh. And so it was, I learned technically it was radio, it was internet radio. And then I moved over.
I can add DJ to the list.
I mean, it was podcast-ish, but I guess technically it was supposed to be called radio. So it's, and then it morphed. And then I, switched platforms and it was internet radio and podcast. And then I started to do pre-recorded videos and post those on Facebook and YouTube. And then I moved into live video. So right now it's the live video that then gets transformed over to podcast platforms. And so that's how I currently do it. And it's fun.
Yeah. Oh no, I love it. That's the thing. I was video before live, and I always saying do video because it saves you having to do a ton of content over and over again. You just take what you did on video and repurpose it. It seemed like a no-brainer. I was kind of like the lazy marketeer, I think.
Well, that's a smart marketer, which you teach people about, which is really good.
That's the word. Yes, smart. I like your version better.
That's cool. Yeah, that's something I I am still going, gosh, Kim, you know, you have so much. How can you repurpose this stuff? So that's great that you teach that to people, because that's something I'm looking to implement even more into what I do.
Yeah, I know. And it's the crazy places like TikTok and IGTV. It's they're there, and as long as we still got TikTok, I still don't get it. But I will. I don't get it. I still put stuff on it, but I just don't get it. But all good. So yeah. So what would, just a quick question, because I know you've got your show in just over half an hour. Actually, two things. You need to tell us where we can see it, for one, and then I also just wanted to ask you very briefly. You know, what would working with you look like if someone wanted to work with you? Then how would they go about that, and what sort of thing would they be doing?
Thank you for that question. Yes. So to tune into the live shows, they're on Facebook on the Every Day is a New Day show and coaching page. You can also search for it by doing the @ symbol at Kim ONeil Coaching. And so it's live on Facebook and YouTube. And then working with me, there's so many different things, ways that I work with people. One of the best things to do is to go to KimONeilCoaching.com and book a free coffee chat, just a free, conversation, and we can talk about what's going on and how I can best serve you. I love working with, thank you for that. Yes, KimONeilCoaching.com. I work with people with one-on-one coaching, helping them to release limiting beliefs, deepen into what does self-love look like and feel like for them. And also, taking it deeper and, doing 3-month packages and really stepping into that space of learning what it means to be more of them, feel more confident in who they are. And of course, I still do interview coaching, helping people prepare for job interviews as well as podcast interviews. So they can definitely, go to my website and check out the different services and book a free call.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a really valuable lesson, because there are so many more. Well, as you know, we always want looking for interesting people to interview, and if you've been coached in being interviewed, then yeah, fantastic, because we always want to make sure our guests get their message across, and we want our interviewees to be shine. That's the whole reason for me doing this. So
it really makes a difference. Yeah. And so I know a common question I will get is, what do you mean I can prepare? And it's like, absolutely, you can prepare. And I love doing it. So to me, it's fun. It might not seem fun to them, and that's where I come in. I have to be fun.
Yeah, because actually it's one thing I don't know if you noticed as well, that some people, it's crazy. I had a great guy, a salesman, spoke to a room of a couple of hundred people, no problem at all, came in to do another, just to top and tail some elements, and stuck a camera in his face, and he couldn't string a sentence together. It was really quite funny, because it was just so outside of his comfort zone. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. You know what? Practice is one of the big things. And so to me, I always say you don't want to memorize everything, but you do want to practice. And the more that you prepare, you get to become aware of, well, what are the things that I want to share? How do I want to share it? Feeling comfortable with sharing it, learning what words you want to say, what words you don't want to say. There's so many different layers to it. And and that preparation, helps for opportunities like that, when all of a sudden you're like, wait, what? And if you get caught up like that, like, just be easier on yourself, okay, that was a learning opportunity, and then prepare for the next time. So
exactly. And I take this to the nth degree. People are massively forgiving of you. So
yeah,
and that's the thing. And actually, people are interested in people. So you've got people that want to talk about things, then most people will listen. Obviously, we do have your at Kim Coaching. Thank you, Cara.
Thank you, Kara.
So that's it. The Every Day is a New Day show. So that starts in about half an hour. So we don't want to miss it. Kim, thank you so much for being a wonderful guest. I would love to have you on again, just to talk a bit more and more in depth. And
thank you, Nick.
We didn't even touch on the bungee jumping and the skydiving. Never, ever in a million years will I be skydiving.
Well, thank you, Nick. I would love to come back, and I appreciate the time on today's show. Yeah, you know what? It's just about what's fun for you, right? So if that was something that I always wanted to do. And I just would just say, if we could leave your audience with something is to really take this time to like tune in and what is that thing you really want to do, and allow yourself to really to start to move towards that, whatever that may be. And recognize it as not one of those things that, oh, maybe someday that'll happen if this other thing happens. Like, no, you get to choose it for yourself. So if you want that to happen, choose it, claim it, decide it, and then start to see that vision and build it out and let your energy connect with it. And then the opportunities flow in, and there's so much more I could say about that, but I just encourage people to claim it right now for themselves, because you have that right and you deserve it. So this is your moment.
Oh, fantastic. Guys, please do get in touch with Kim, KimONeilCoaching.com. The show is at Kim O'Neill Coaching on the Facebook page. I guess we're all going to see you in about half an hour. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And guys, we will see you on the next Open for Business show, which is tomorrow, 7 p.m. British Summer Time as well. Okay, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.